Welcome back to Bay Area people. We're back outside again because it's back to school time. Lots of kids already in school, other kids getting ready to go back to school, and lots of people doing that on their bikes or walking. We want to make sure that people do it safely. So joining me now, we've got 10-year-old Devynn, and we've got Nora Cody, who is the program director for the Alameda County Safe Routes School. Thanks for helping us out today.
Sure.
So it's great. We want kids to go outside, ride their bikes, get to school, get some exercise, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many people do it safely?
Well, not enough. We hope that most people are riding safely, but especially when you're dealing with children, a lot of people don't know the best way to ride safely.
Yeah, you were saying that you work with 130 schools in Alameda County, and do you find that there are some very basic things that people just generally forget to check, or they just hop on and they don't do?
Yeah, sure. Especially, you hop on that bike, maybe it's been sitting around in the garage for a while. You want to make sure the bike is working properly, and you want to make sure that you have a helmet that fits correctly.
So Devynn knows all the quick tips. Let's talk about the helmet first. I'll hold this for you because you're going to give us an idea, right, of how to properly put on a helmet.
Yeah. So of course you need to make sure you have a helmet and you're wearing a helmet, and never ride a bike without a helmet. And Devynn has a helmet that fits her really well. So Devynn, why don't you explain how you know that your helmet fits correctly?
I know because I use the 2-finger rule. You take 2 fingers from your eyebrows and the top of the helmet, and then the straps here are supposed to go around your ear, and then 2 fingers should fit in between here. No, it can't be really loose because then it would fall off.
That's right.
Good.
Perfect.
And a lot of people, I think I've seen kids where their helmet moves like back and forth, and it's loose, and they're just
way back. You want the helmet level on the head.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what's interesting is you were saying a lot of people, I mean, and Devynn, you say a lot of people ride their bikes and the seat's not in the right place. That's a safety issue?
Sure. It's a safety issue because you might not be able to stop soon enough, and it's also really uncomfortable and inefficient, and over time it can actually damage your knees if your seat is not in the right position.
Okay, so let's figure out how, I'm assuming Devynn's bike is perfect for her, but how do we know that it is?
Okay, so Devynn, why don't you hop on? The way to check is really simple. When you have your leg that fully extended on one side, you want to see that slight bend in the knee right there. So just how Devynn has it. You don't want, your knees up in your chin, and you don't want your leg completely straight.
Do you find that that's what maybe people are on a bike too long, or they're borrowing a big brother's bike and it doesn't quite fit correctly?
Or his bike is too small, their legs have grown, and they haven't adjusted the seat
and
to
compensate. And the seat can just fix a lot of that if you just take one quick look before you send your kid off to school.
Just adjust that seat really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the last thing is we want to make sure that that bike is working properly. So Devynn's going to explain the ABCs of bikes. Yep.
All right. Air is just to make sure you have air in your tire. Brakes, just check the brakes before you start going.
Stopping's important, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And C is for chain, just make sure it's on.
Right.
And that's a good thing. I wonder if it's a good lesson too to teach a kid how to put a chain back on, because sometimes I can see that happen.
Sure.
Have you had to put your chain back on before?
A little bit.
I've had to track down some kids and help them when they're stuck and stranded because the bike won't move.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
I've been on rides with a lot of kids. The chain falls off, and that's the end of the day.
And that's
really you can just pop it back on, and a bike shop can help show you how to do that as well.
It's not that hard if you're willing to get a little dirty, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so and then riding the bike, obviously a big deal. Devynn, why don't you turn your bike around, because you're going to show us a little demonstration, but first you said you were going to show us hand signals, because that's certainly an important thing. So take us through your hand signals, Devynn, on how to do it.
Left would be just straight out. Right, or the other right, you could do that. And then just stop is that.
Do you find that you have to practice that? Just to keep remembering that? Okay, take us through a couple runs. You're going to take us through one run. Go ahead, Devynn. And she's going to show us maybe the wrong way to do it. So as she goes, and in terms of riding a bike, what's she doing wrong?
Okay, so you can see how she's weaving from side to side. And one of the things we really talk about with children is being predictable. So when you're on a bike in the street, the driver should know what to expect from you. If you're weaving like that makes people in cars really nervous because they don't know where she's going to go. And it's not real safe for her. She could run into a car that's parked or even a moving vehicle.
Okay, give us one more quick little run. Show us exactly how it's supposed to be done. And I wanted you to talk about the distance that she is from the cars.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Devynn, go ahead. Because the distance is important, right? You don't want to be out in the middle of the street.
No, unless you really need to be safe, or if you're making a left-hand turn, you might have to be in the middle. It's important to realize that bicycles have the same rights and responsibilities as cars. So if you need to take more of the road to be safe, you have a right to do that.
Okay,
and
so
it's
as
driver's responsibility to look out for bicyclists.
Absolutely. As she's driving close
Yeah.
or riding
Okay,
close.
So what is important to know is to be aware of the door zone. And the door zone is that area where a parked car door could open. And that's actually the most common accident for bicyclists is they smash
hit
into
by
that
a
open
door.
door because often drivers aren't looking out for bicyclists open that door really quickly. So she is staying at least 2 bicycle widths away from the parked cars.
You can see it.
So
All
she
right.
can be out of the door zone.
Great job, Devyn. We know you're going to be safe on your way to school. Nora, thanks so
Yeah.
much for joining
All right,
us.
thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Great advice as everyone goes back to school and back to school safely.